It is not your job to make them happy. It is not your job to try to pull them out of that funk. You can help, but it is more likely that they pull you down than you lifting them up.
The 4 control dramas from James Redfield's The Celestine Prophecy model the ways that people manipulate others for energy.
The Intimidator aggressively uses fear and anger. The Interrogator judges and questions excessively. The Aloof remains distant and plays the mysterious role. And the Poor Me plays the victim, attempting to elicit guilt.
These unconscious tactics aim to control interactions, but healthy relationships bypass them by focusing on awareness, real connections, and facing your own unresolved traumas.
You know, it's like, and it was my way of controlling the relationship.
Right.
It's because if they don't know anything about me, then they can't leave me because of stuff that I think is bullshit about myself, the stuff that I'm insecure about, and the stuff that really bothers me about who I am in my past and different things like that. If you don't know that, you can't leave me because of that.
Right.
So then if you decide to leave, it's like, why would you leave me? I'm fucking me. There was a worthy thing going on there. I didn't think they would accept me for who I really was, because I didn't accept me for who I really was.
Right.
So how the fuck can I expect you to accept me?
You're making them miss you to the point where it's like they're begging or crying or what can I do? And then you're like, you're proving your value to them by removing yourself from the situation. And that is some of the coldest shit I've ever done. Because, and this is me trying to own up to my shit, because there have been good women that I have just completely cut off.
Yeah.
And never fixed it.
Because I can fully admit that I went through some real dark times. I hesitate to say that I was depressed, but I probably at that moment really was, in a sense. I was also suicidal at the same time. So that was a whole another dynamic to things.
Yeah.
It's like, but that was one of those things that I wasn't looking at the world to fix what was wrong with me at the same time. I think that honestly, even like depression, I think the majority of depression is self-inflicted. I would probably even go as far to say probably about 90% of depression is self-inflicted suffering.
Welcome to the Warrior's Way Home podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Warrior's Way Home podcast. I'm your co-host Edmund with my brother Travis here.
What's up, guys?
We are bringing back our conversation about the Celestine Prophecy, another book review that we're doing here. Go back and check out the first part if you haven't, where we are breaking down the different types of control dramas that people kind of enact in their lives. Talks about how you interact with the environment and the world around you.
Definitely. I thought you were going to say we're bringing sexy back. That's what I thought you were.
Well, that too.
That's where I thought he was going to go. This is like, we're bringing
never
back.
left.
We're bringing back sexy. I was like, hey.
But during our first episode, we talked about two of the.
So we talked about the Interrogator, and we talked about the. I'm sorry, Intimidator and Interrogator.
Yeah.
Were the first two that we talked about.
Yeah.
And how that can kind of shift into the generator and the investigator. So if you don't know what we're talking about with that, definitely go check out part 1, and we'll get into the second one, which is going to be aloofness and the woe is me.
So when it comes to aloofness is more of that, I'm not really caring how people.
You're not a Karen?
No, I'm not a Karen. I don't have the bob on the swoop bob thing.
I don't know. I saw that one picture.
I showed you that confidence. But yeah, so when you're aloof, you don't really want people to
know that you have the bob,
to know much about you, because then they go and run their mouth on the podcast. So when you're aloof, you're like trying to keep people out of your business, so you're not really opening up to others, which causes them to dig deeper into who you are. This is one way of getting energy from people, because these control dramas are really about energy exchanges. It's about how you're interacting with other people. If you're aloof, you kind of either do some kind of emotional or mental judo to get the attention off of you, or you're just very, one-word answer, not really trying to share too much.
Yep, and what you said there, the attention. You can always exchange, people like energy. It's like, just exchange energy for attention. Because a lot of times it's the same thing. It's like a lot of times if you're getting that attention, if I'm paying you attention, right now I'm feeding you energy. It's like, that's all that's really going on. It's like when you look at that dynamic, because people will be like, oh, energy is like, no. Energy exchange is just an attention exchange in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
When you're having a good conversation, that kind of goes back and forth. Like I'm giving you attention, and I'm paying attention to you when you're talking. When I'm talking, you're paying attention to me, and
Mm-hmm.
there's an exchange going on there of energy / attention going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But in a lot of these cases is when you don't have that exchange,
Right.
when you're just kind of pulling out and taking that energy, or that attention on yourself is what a lot of these control dramas are about.
It can be very exhausting, because once you realize, when you're talking to somebody who's like, oh, what was me, or just always sad all the time, and it's like they're just always down in the dumps or super emo or whatever, like that takes time and energy to give that attention. You know what I'm saying? So like if you ever walk away from something like that and you're like, oh, why did I
drain?
Yeah, that's because they took that energy and they don't even know it unless they're conscious of it. But that's a whole different conversation.
Then they're energy vampire. That's
yeah,
a whole different thing.
Energy. That's really what we're getting down to.
Yeah.
They're really energy vampires. So, what would you say? Give an example of when you were kind of aloof.
Oh, I've been aloof all my life.
Yeah. Mystery man.
Yeah, and honestly, pretty much, it's like I still tend to find myself doing that. We talked about this. It's like just the other day when you were like, "Hey, because you don't listen, you can call me when you got shit going on, bro."
Right.
It's like we can hang out, we can go have lunch, or just kick it, or just bullshit. It's like you don't have to just keep going through bumping your head against the wall by yourself. You can call when you have problems and you just want to vent and talk about it. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, but I'm not going to, because I'm aloof.
Like, which causes me to be an investigator or an interrogator.
Which has always caused people to be the investigator. And it's like, for me, it's like, so I found myself doing that quite a bit. Even in just what I do, when people start to kind of ask me questions about me or different things like that, I know way more about my clients and different people in my life than most of them know about me, because I tend to do we talked about in the last episode, the emotional judo. Once they started, I'm a little different, because I don't tend to do the just keep the attention on me, keep feeding me with that attention. I tend to do the flip on them. It's like, so once I start getting that attention, it's almost like, they're starting to dig down and see the real me. It's like, let me flip this on them and start investigating what they do. So it's a way of flipping. But as far as the aloof thing, I mean, I still do it when I always say that a lot of times I do more listening than talking. Right. When I go certain places, like if I'm someplace new where I've never been before, let's say we go to a buddy of yours house, for the Super Bowl or whatever the fuck it is. A lot of times I'll go and I'm not like sitting there in the corner like like this, like
you're not standoffish.
Yeah, I'm not standoffish. It's like, but I tend to either ask more questions or just kind of sit and listen a lot more than I do like just engaging with people. I'm not usually like, I'll be like, yeah, da, da, da. And it's not even like a nervous thing. It's not even like being an extrovert introvert type thing, because I always tell people I'm an introverted extrovert. I've taught group classes with like 45, 50 people in it. You can't be an introvert teaching 50 soldiers at a gym trying to run a class like that. Good luck with that shit. It's like, so I have those moments where I'm highly, highly extroverted. But in moments like that, where it's a little more chill, laid back, I tend to be that guy that kind of sit back, so people are like curious about it. Be like, I really haven't ever heard him really talk too much. I haven't heard him talk about himself at all. I was like, who is this guy? And people come over and start talking, and next thing you know, they start talking to me, and before I know it, for an hour, we've been talking about them. It's like, and for me, I feel okay with that, because I know this person and they feel comfortable with me and everything like that. But at the same time, by the time I leave, they're like, man, that was so good talking to Travis. It's like, and somebody could really be like, did you ask him anything? Right. Well, I asked him what his name was. You're selfish.
That's man. Nothing. Talk about yourself for an hour.
So while that builds a great rapport, which I'm really, really good at, is building that rapport, I can't say it builds strong relationships. So that's the thing. So the aloofness, it enables me to build a rapport with people, but I can't say that it helps me build relationships. So that's definitely an area where I've definitely been aloof quite a bit, and in romantic relationships, definitely. I'm fucking aloof, highly aloof, and have been in my relationships. So that's definitely something I'm working on.
What came to me as you were speaking was that these really are just two extremes of like extrovert and introvert. When we're talking about being an intimidator and being an interrogator, that's extroversion. I'm talking to you
Even
so that I don't
even
have to talk
investigator.
to you.
Yep.
You know, or an intimidator. That's definitely more outgoing. You know, like we said, that's more of a generator principle. Then that introversion, that going within, is that aloofness and that woe is me, because it's like, oh, I'm just sad and it's all pity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that is crazy that I just realized that.
That's pretty wild. And I think we talked about even like some of the characters associated with some of these. I think we talked about, Intimidator being more like
David Goggins, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. No, it was Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, perfect example of Intimidator. You had the Interrogator, which was Lois Lane. For now, what we're talking about is the Aloof, and the what was me. The Aloof we were talking about was.
You said the Shadow from like some radio show.
Yeah. It was like a comic, almost like a comic book character where you don't see their
You could really say like Batman. Batman's aloof.
There you go.
Because like Bruce Wayne never really. He never like
example.
really entertains the women that he's with. He's just like, oh, I have you on my arm so that the public sees me. They have something to talk about, but then at night I go off and be Batman.
But you don't really know me.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know I'm rich.
You know me, but you don't know me.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna let you in past that wall. It's like,
sure.
then you start getting too close. I'm like, all right, gotta go.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect example.
I said the woe is me was like sadness
Eeyore.
from inside out, or Eeyore for sure.
Definitely fucking Eeyore.
But yeah, so I wanted to bring that up because that's a perfect example to kind of frame what we're talking about.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense, having those moments where with the Aloof, you're going more into, you're starting to head more into that introvert side of things, because it's like you might not necessarily be
back.
You might not be that guy in the corner, but you're also not offering anything into the exchange. So it's like it becomes a one-sided, very one-sided. You build one-sided relationships being that way.
Right. Going into relationships was actually perfect for me because this was a controlled drama that I've lived out a lot in my life, and I didn't even know it. So like I said in the past, my dad was more aloof. And I saw the way he handled things. When he got into an argument with somebody, if it wasn't able to be fixed right then and there, or if something was said that is like, perfect example, like my mom once had told my dad that like she didn't want him in the house no more. He wasn't beating on her or nothing, but they were just having an argument. Things were said that they didn't mean. She said, "Get out, don't ever come back in this house again." This man kept his word, y'all. like he
Doses.
Now he didn't abandon me. He would still come and pick me up from my mom's house and all that good stuff, and he would still want very much be in my life. But that was being aloof, because then you want me to not be here no more? I'm gonna do that. And so now you have to live with me not being there because off of what you said. So I would go into relationships thinking I knew how to be a good man. And I'm very loving. I would still be a very good partner.
Yeah.
But when things got bad, when we got into arguments or there was a breakup, you wouldn't see me or talk to me for 2 weeks. I was gone. I was living my life. I wasn't running around sleeping with women and nothing like that, but like I would make you miss my presence. If we really want to get into it, y'all, that's the deviousness of being aloof, is when you pull a disappearing act, they then have to figure out what they did wrong. They have to be the ones to reach out to you to fix it. So again, you are dragging energy out of them, even from a distance. That's even harder. And you're not really fixing the issue. You just make them miss you a lot. You're making them miss you to the point where it's like they're begging or crying or what can I do? And then you're proving your value to them by removing yourself from the situation. And that is some of the coldest shit I've ever done. Because and this is me trying to own up to my shit, because there have been good women that I have just completely cut off.
Yeah.
And never fixed it. You know what I'm saying? Like never tried to do any type of reconciliation or redemption for that. And it's like, now here's the thing. It fucks with me a little bit more now than it used to, because because of the time difference, I'm not trying to go back and do the whole like I'm sorry thing.
Yeah.
But it made me more aware, because now you are potentially harming somebody by removing yourself. Like now they're gonna have trust issues. Like now, what if somebody is just they're always gonna be worried that the person that they love is just gonna up and leave one day, or that you're never whatever.
Which would probably turn them into an investigator.
Yes.
Or an intimidator.
It might turn them into
interrogator, or maybe an intimidator.
Yeah.
because that fear.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're gonna leave. It's like, so I gotta
Or
find
they- or they
I gotta
leave
find
first.
out. I gotta find out, or that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or I gotta find out either. I gotta dig and find out everything I can. It's like, oh, you're gonna
find that thing.
you're gonna head out. It's like, but where are you? When are you coming back? Da
Right.
da 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 da. You know,
Yeah.
and doing this whole thing. It's like, well, where are you?
Mhm.
You know, that's when you start getting that where they get so clingy.
Yeah.
You almost develop either that
Dependent.
clinginess or that
Yeah.
coldness.
Yeah.
You know, you can that can
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah.
That can definitely fuck with your head.
Yeah, for sure. And it took me a very long time to realize that's what I was doing, because it was something that I was used to. Again, I was trained into me, and then because also there's no how, as somebody who was aloof, how do you come back and try to explain yourself? Oh, I ran off because I didn't know how to talk about my feelings. And the more you push somebody away that way, the less likely they are to come back. If I don't talk to you for 2 weeks and you think we just broke up and I come back like everything is fine, you're gonna lose your fucking mind. Like, you're gonna be like, what do you mean?
I stalk you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's there is no, when you do that, as somebody who did it, when you do that, there's no excuse for why you weren't being a good communicator. So now,
which has probably made it even harder to try and go back and even fix those
the
things.
longer
you're just like, I don't even have a good excuse for why I did the shit I did. So it's
for
like,
sure.
So damn, now I gotta, if I had to own up to that, I gotta just take that hit.
Yeah,
I don't want to
there's
take
no
that
reconciliation, like you said. There's it's very much, now they're always worried that you're gonna just leave, or you know, it perpetuates a cycle.
Yeah.
So but
now, question: how did that, to get a little personal?
Yeah.
How did that dynamic go into with your wife? How did that work out, knowing that you were you aware of you doing that when you met your wife and started dealing with her, or was it something that you figured out more recently?
That was something that I've definitely figured out more recently. I was always a little bit aware of it because it was what I was physically doing it.
Okay.
And to withhold energy from somebody, you know you're doing that. When you're not giving somebody attention.
Yeah.
Why
are you withholding your love from me?
Yeah. Now, real quick, there are some people who like that. That is like a quote unquote toxic trait that they like.
Well, because it's a game.
Yeah. It's like, oh, how do I find out more about you?
Because they're investigators.
Yeah. Yeah. Play the game. Know how to play the game. So how that affected me and my wife's relationship. So I actually, one of the last people that I was talking to before me and my wife got together, just even as boyfriend and girlfriend, that is exactly what I did. I was realizing, this was in the middle of my shift, that I was realizing that some of the people that were around me were not the best for me. Okay. Including some of the women that I was talking to and having interest in. So as I'm getting ready to rekindle this older relationship, I realized, because I had both of them. I had not in a like I'm juggling or nothing like that, but I had given attention to both of them. Okay. In the like talking stage, because I wasn't fully over here, but I was trying out new things.
I was like, just remember we're on YouTube. So
no, for sure. So, right. Sorry, honey.
Plead the fifth, sir. Just go ahead and plead the fifth.
No, but
do not incriminate yourself on this podcast and blame me for it.
Yeah. No. It was definitely that transition of, you know, because we had
gotcha.
Yeah, we had
kind of that in between phase.
Exactly. Okay. And it was like an old flame versus a new flame kind of thing.
Well, we'll let that slide then.
Yeah. Insurance. Nah. But yeah, so weighing the consequences of pursuing somebody who I had already been with and it didn't work out versus just trying something new with somebody who I had no familiarity with. Right. So as I'm getting more comfortable with my now wife, all this attention is leaving and I'm like, you know what, this is not healthy for me. So then I just do the old thing. Like I said, these are control dramas. In order to control the situation, I leave. And I never gave any type of reason as to why I just up and left. And that was very cowardly. I will admit that was actually very cowardly, because I wasn't giving her a chance to do whatever I didn't give her a say so.
Yeah, or any kind of closure.
I didn't get any kind of clue or nothing like that. I was sitting on the couch and I was
closure.
Closure, yeah.
Any closure with that.
Yeah, no closure. So, and that's how you damage people, and, you know, and I am sorry for that, but I don't know if it's worth to go back and do that. So, I say all that to say, when I realized that communication was much more important than it was in my relationships, especially kind of going forward, because my wife was out of town. She lived an hour away from me, and I was still in school. I had just started back college. So I obviously have a mission that I'm trying to complete in getting a degree. I can't be up under you. I can't have you up under me all the time. So I have stuff to do. But what I realized is, in having a relationship with somebody who wasn't in the same city as me, communication is important.
Yeah.
When am I going to call you? How are we going to go out? How are we going to treat dates? How am I going to spend time with you? And when it came to arguments, because I was only really spending like weekends with her, or like time on the weekends with her, I did not have time to argue. I was like, look, if I'm going to be staying with you for 3 days, like, I want this to be fun. I want us to be growing a relationship. I don't want to be, arguing with you. I drove an hour to sit on the couch and argue with you? No, ma'am.
You know what's funny about that is because that distance didn't really allow you, because you would have took a hit.
Exactly.
If you'd argue, be like, well, you know what, I'm just gonna leave. It's not like you're going 20 minutes down the road.
Right.
You got to drive another hour
Exactly.
back home. So you actually almost put yourself in a situation where you were forced
Exactly.
to not be aloof.
Exactly.
At least as much as you were.
Right.
Is that because it's like, okay, if I'm dealing with her, if I'm actually seeing her in this time, it's such a distance that it would actually hurt me to just walk out of this situation like this and do what I usually do. So now I gotta actually, I don't want to have to drive back an hour pissed the fuck off, just mad, and I'm driving home an hour. I'm like, oh shit, just wasted a weekend,
wasting
or whatever.
Gas, wasting money, wasting time.
So you almost put yourself in a corner.
Yeah,
and forced yourself to.
It wasn't on purpose, but that's exactly what it ended up being. Was I was putting myself in a situation where, now, it wasn't like I was forcing myself to be in a relationship, but the situation that I found myself in the relationship caused me to take a real hard look. It's like, first of all, an hour is not a long time, but it's enough. It's enough for a lot of people to go, well, I'm not going to entertain
it. It is
that.
at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, when you, no, for real.
Be like, well, that, damn, it's 11. Shit. Hey, look, let's talk about this.
For real. I used to get off at work at like 11, 12 at night because I was working on campus, and I would shut everything down, and I would have to go make that drive.
Yeah.
You think I'm coming if we arguing?
Yeah. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're be like, damn. Look, I was wrong. Sorry.
Right. So
let's just go to bed.
I unintentionally put myself in that situation, which made me realize, oh shit, you got to be more of an adult about this, like for real. The solution, or the flip side of being aloof, is being self-aware. Once you realize that you are not sharing energy, time, or attention with that other person in the way that is conducive to your relationship, you then have to be like, all right, how do I fix this, or how do I make the situation better for both of us, so that I don't have to run out, or they don't have to be an intimidator, or you have to then investigate your experience.
Yeah. I mean, with the aloofness, I think there's almost a piece of you that kind of knows why you're doing the thing that you're doing. It's like, because when somebody starts getting too close, there's an alarm almost that goes off. Like, okay, they're starting to figure out this piece of me, or this, this dynamic of myself that, I don't want them to get near, or get close to, or I don't want to tap it. I don't want to look at myself. So I'm either going to do something to shift this, like start investigating them, interviewing them, or leave the situation and ghost. Right. In the case you were talking about, because I think there was a piece of you that probably knew that you didn't want to touch that. You didn't want to go into that. You didn't want to open that door that was about to be opened with the what was happening in the relationship.
I was very Danny Phantom. I'm going ghost. Like I'm out of there. Like it was bad, man. Yeah. It was bad. I'm not proud of it.
So I think that flip of it, having that self-awareness, I think even sometimes subconsciously we're self-aware of that our ways. Like for me, it's like, even though it really hit the last couple of years, that I was aloof in all my relationships in a different way than yours. I didn't have to leave. I just wasn't really present. You seen where like somebody's talking to somebody, and they're talking and they're just sitting there, and the person leaves and they put like a poster board of themselves there, and the person just keeps talking, and but they you see them walk off. That was me. It's like, boom. It's like, yeah, I'm here, you know,
Yeah.
but you get this outline of me.
But it's sad because then the other person doesn't get to enjoy you as a full
No.
multi-dimensional
Nope.
individual.
Nope, I didn't even get the opportunity to share that piece of me. There was
Mhm.
not that back and forth interaction, or at least not nearly what it should have been.
Mhm.
So it was one of those things where it just became a very one-sided relationship.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, and it was my way of controlling
Mhm.
the relationship.
Right.
Is because if they don't know anything about me, then they can't leave me because of the stuff that I think is bullshit about myself, the stuff that I'm insecure about, and the stuff that really bothers me about who I am in my past and different things like that. If you don't know that, you can't leave me because of that.
Right.
So then if you decide to leave, it's like, why would you leave me? I'm fucking me. It's like, you know, da 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 da.
Right.
People are like, why would you leave him?
Right.
It's like, he was so great, da 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 da. But you
Yeah.
also didn't know anything about me. So I didn't give you the opportunity to either accept or not accept who I really was.
Mhm.
Is like, and you know, it was a fear thing. Is it because I didn't think there was a worthy thing going on there. I didn't think they would accept me for who I really was, because
Right.
I didn't accept me for who I really was.
Right.
So how the fuck can I expect you to accept me?
Right.
So I don't even give you the opportunity to, because if I'm not willing to look at this shit, I'm definitely not gonna let you look at it.
Mhm. Mhm. That's real, man. Some people. That's why I say self-love is so important. People,
Mhm.
I saw something the other day that was like, self-love is not a replacement for romantic relationships, and it's true. It's not.
Yeah.
But if you love yourself enough to make sure that you are as complete as a human being as you can before you get into those relationships, the
Mhm.
happier you will be as a person, because then you are not depending on that other person to make you whole.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? So
Definitely. And with the aloof thing, I think we touched on something important. Was a lot of times that aloof thing, what breeds somebody who's aloof, a lot of times is going to be that interrogator
Mhm.
in a lot of cases, or the intimidator
Mhm.
at some points. A lot of times it's a dynamic between those two.
Yeah.
A lot of those breed the aloof. Because what was me?
It was for us.
What was
Yeah.
me usually isn't going to breed aloof. Having usually a parent or somebody important in your life who, you know, help you in that growing
Helps you grow,
process
yeah.
is usually going to be that intimidator or that interrogator that's going to breed that aloof person.
Mhm.
You know, because you put that so much force and they're trying to dig at you or really pressure you,
Mhm.
that you just kind of fall back almost into that shell to kind of as your protective mechanism.
So yeah, and then the last one that we have here is "Oh Woe Is Me." So this is your sad boy. This is your
favorite people.
But here's the thing. This is a control drama that sticks out to me as somebody who is trying to get that attention, because for two reasons. One that I know you kind of like, you know, your history with, and then one that I've seen more often. The two different types of ways that stick out to me that somebody can be "Oh Woe Is Me" is when they're trying to fake something, as in like crocodile tears, like you're faking sad so that you don't get in trouble, or you know, something like that, or you don't get,
or you get out of something.
Get out of something, or you are truly like, it's just that overwhelming, like nothing in my life will ever go right. I am the bane of the world and I deserve to die in a hole. Like, why? I don't agree with that, because it's very self-defeatist. And as we've kind of gone through our journeys, we've realized that energy and everything, your words are everything. So when you're going through this, you're actually digging a deeper hole.
Yeah.
As you're feeling sorry for yourself, like you are just putting yourself in a deeper, darker space that is harder to get out of. You could have people around you that love you and want to pull you out of that and try to help you. But if you are not willing to put down the shovel, stop making the situation worse.
Stop making the hole bigger.
Stop making the hole bigger, and like figure out what you need to do to get out of it. Now, this can look like depression and all types of stuff. I will be the first to admit that I don't fully understand depression, because I don't claim it for myself. I'm one of those people. My brother calls me Mr. Sunshine or Mr. Positive, because I'm always trying to like be upbeat and like get shit done. But it's not like I don't feel sadness. There are times where I feel sad for myself or feel sorry for myself. I just don't get too stuck in it. I will give myself a day, like 24 hours, and then I gotta make some moves. You know what I mean? Like, but that has been drilled into me through other circumstances.
Yep.
But tell us about your experience with the "Oh Woe Is Me."
Yeah, Edmund's a human Prozac. So.
I tried.
But it's, you know, but it's needed though. It's needed. So, and this is probably going to be controversial, which is I'm sure very new for me to be controversial. I think that honestly, even like depression, I think the majority of depression is self-inflicted. I think the great majority, I would probably even go as far to say probably about 90% of depression is self-inflicted suffering. That is not actually, because true depression is actually like can be an actual chemical imbalance. I think the majority of depression though is self-induced suffering. A lot of times, as my friend Amy says, is anger. You're beating yourself up. It's almost like self-inflicted brutality, self-inflicted anger that you're not willing to recognize in a lot of ways. So that's my whole thing about the depression thing. So tying into the woe is me piece of it, I think a lot of it is a learned defense mechanism in a lot of cases. If you probably talk to a lot of people who we would define as woe is me, you talk to them, they probably most likely, I would guess, probably had an intimidator in their life. And that was their coping mechanism. That was the way of, well, it's like a kid. It's like, when a kid falls, what's the first thing they do? They look at you. A kid falls, bam, hits their head on the ground. They pop up, and what's the first thing they do? They don't really start crying immediately. If they really hurt themselves,
they really hurt themselves,
they do. But what's the first thing they do? Bow, and they're like,
yeah.
You might see that.
Right.
Oh, you saw it, and then they look at you like,
right.
Should I cry? Did I hurt myself bad? How bad did I hurt myself?
Right.
I'm gonna react based off of you. If you go, oh, poor baby.
I'm the worst to do that because kids falling are either hilarious or devastating. And then like if you boom, and I'm like, like I'm the guy that's like the audible gasp, and then I'm the one that's gonna make you cry because I'm thinking you're as hurt as I would have been if I would have took that hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm the guy that looks at you like, you good?
All right.
Cool. Come on, let's go.
Like, oh shit! I gotta just hide my.
Come on, let's brush off that dirt off your face.
A little bit of blood. That's fine.
You got a rock. There we go. There we go. Just put a Band-Aid right on that bad boy.
You're good. Put a
little spit on it. There you go.
There you go.
We're
children.
We're good. You're good, right? Yeah.
Kids.
They're like, huh? They're like, am I good? It's like, yeah, you're good. Come on, let's go. Want to get some ice cream? Come on, let's go get some ice cream.
I can see you.
And they're like, and you see them confused, like, what? What the fuck was that? That was
whole experience.
That was a different reaction. That's not how my parents handle that situation.
I can see you licking a Band-Aid and smacking it on a kid's head. Like, yeah, you're fine. You're good. Yeah, go
like
play.
A stamp.
Like, right. Deliver him to the ER, sir. Like, Jesus Christ.
I'll be walking with him and be like, we probably need an X-ray for that.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he has a concussion now. Is that? But we're gonna figure that out when we get home.
Don't tell your mother.
But yeah, I mean, even with that, it's the same thing with people. It's a learned behavior over time. Because if you have a parent who, let's say, gets angry at something that you did, you're drawing on the wall. As a kid, you're just going at it, having a blast, drawing dinosaurs and fucking Transformers and whatever you're doing, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
You're supposed to be drawing on the wall, and they stop.
Right.
And they start crying,
right.
And the reaction you get from you crying is,
shit. Right.
Don't do that anymore. No, Dad.
Right.
No, give me the crayon. Come on, go draw on the paper. Here, let's
Right.
get you some paper. And you're like, wait,
right?
I didn't get in trouble for this.
Right.
Right. This might be a thing.
Okay.
So the next time you do this, you're doing something else. Hey, wait. What was that? What did I do last time? Oh yeah. And you get that same reaction. It becomes a learned behavior over time. Yeah. So I think a lot of people who are woe is me, to make a long story longer, are people who have. That's a dynamic that you learn because that was your defense mechanism. Probably when you ran into that intimidator that you had in your house or your family or whoever it may be. That was that was your go-to. Like women who cry when they get pulled over.
Yeah.
It's like
I didn't know I could do.
What heartless cop is going to give a poor woman a ticket while she's bawling tears? That's because you don't have a heart.
That's fine. But
you're the type to put a stamp on a kid and send him to the ER. Shame on you, sir. But I think it's a learned behavior because you're that's getting reinforced. That's a way to get you out of a certain
Right.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the more you do that, I think the more it goes from being just a habit to becoming a pattern to
Mhm.
becoming a state.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it becomes a state, that's when it becomes dangerous because you do it unconsciously.
Right.
You just naturally say that, oh, the world is against me, da 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 da, poor me, da 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 da.
Right.
This person hurt me, or whatever it may be.
I'm a victim.
I'm a victim.
Now we pick on women sometimes when it comes
Yeah.
to like the woe is me, but there's a very real male version of this in incels.
I have I'm gonna be honest, I have very low sympathy for men woe is me.
Mhm.
I have a very short
Mhm.
fuse for them.
Anybody who says it's XYZ's person's fault for why I can't do this thing is a woe is me. People
Yeah.
who blame, you know,
The man.
the white supremacy.
The
I was
man,
gonna say,
the
like,
government, white supremacy,
corporate,
racism.
they don't want to see me shine. It's
Yeah,
like
capitalism.
Yeah, no, it's the part. It's the part of taking that accountability.
Mhm.
And but now to kind of wrap this up, one thing that can be used positively with the woe is me, and it kind of seems like the hardest, but it's really empathy. It's you understand that how pain can make somebody feel or the reaction that they can get from it. So you can tend to be either sympathetic or empathetic to that person and trying to help them get out of that. That's where people like me come in, is because I don't want you to be an oh woe is me. I want you to be somebody who is thriving and can generate a positive outlook for themselves and find ways to make, you know, turn lead into gold, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, and it can be annoying as somebody who now, okay, so this is where how I approach that. Being super positive with people who are in that kind of oh woe is me state is super draining.
Yes.
Because you're trying to pump them full of all your good energy and you got all these good intentions, but all they do is absorb it and it goes into a black hole. Like, that is bad for you as well. So you are not going to want to hang out with them all the time. Now,
or at all,
and eventually you will become aloof. So it's really about you can't force people out of whatever state that they're in. You can only give them seeds. You can only try to encourage them and be there when they need that help. But even as you who is trying to help somebody who was what was me, that's not going to do you any benefit.
No,
there is no fast track to getting these people out of that state.
Yeah,
you know, if you have a spouse that's depressed, or if you have friends that deal with depression, like, your job, this is terribly important. It is not your job to make them happy. It is not your job to try to pull them out of that funk. You can help, but it is more likely that they pull you down than you lifting them up. So you got to protect your own energy, but also understand that people need help in several different ways. Sometimes it is chemical. Sometimes it's therapeutic. Sometimes it's psychological, mental, emotional, whatever you want to put on it. But just understand that you are not there, even if it's your spouse, and that's something that I had to learn.
Yeah,
it's not your job to make your partner, your spouse, or your friend or family happy. You are to help them. You are adding to their happiness, but it's up to themselves to make themselves happy.
I'm here to be a support for you, not a crane.
Yes, exactly.
You know, it's like I thought about another way of putting it, but it's kind of dark. So we're not going to put it that way. But yeah, I was like, I'm here to give you the rope. It's up to you whether you climb out or you hang yourself. So that's pretty dark. So we're not going to get...
I was like, I'm curious. I should not have been curious.
Your face. And I was like, well, we've gone this far with it. Let's just go all the way.
Go on.
Let's just go all. Let's just fully get canceled.
But no, this is real shit. I'm trying to uplift you. I'm trying to bring you out of it. But if you go, this isn't going to work for me, you know, that's
up to you.
That's up to you.
That's up to you. At the end of the day, you have to want. Woe is me. For me, you have to want to get out of that. It's like, because for me, it's like if I'm talking to you and you're having that situation going, you're depressed, you got this going on, and everything like that. But I'm talking to you and it's been maybe 10, 20 minutes, and we're trying to work on solutions, but you're not going for any of those solutions. It's always something else. It's like, well, what's the problem? And I say, well, I don't have any money, and da da da. It's like, well, I know somebody who's hiring. It's like, for the thing that you had a job for. It's like they're actually, well, I don't really want to do that anymore because that didn't make me happy. It's like, okay, What are you looking at doing? Well, I don't know because I'm just such in a bad place that I can't even think. I'm like, well, I can't fucking help you.
Right. I can't, bro. Just turn the channel.
It's
like,
you don't even want to help yourself. So I'm like, well, when you figure it out, you let me know.
It makes me angry, bro.
You have a good one. You have a great day. Okay. Go have a fucking Coke and a smile.
You're constantly feeding off of that, and for some people it works for them.
Yeah.
I don't
think it works for them. I just think it is what it is at that moment.
Well, they have that constant
energy
vacuum that they can kind of take from. But yes, and this works out for people who used to be depressed or are successfully dealing with their depression, so that they can go off and make content or help people who are also going through those things.
I mean, because I can fully admit that I went through some real dark times. I hesitate to say that I was depressed, but I probably at that moment really was, in a sense. I was also suicidal at the same time. So that was a whole another dynamic to things. It's but that was one of those things that I wasn't looking at the world to fix what was wrong with me at the same time. I can't say I enjoyed being alive and around and whatever. But I can't say I was ever like, oh, the whole world is against me. I was almost like, why the fuck am I here? Right. So it went to a deeper place. Even with that, the woe is me thing is still kind of like one of those things where it's like, I've even had situations where people are like, oh, they might kill themselves, and I'm like, well, it's like, did they say this? It's like, oh yeah, they keep talking about it. I was like, oh, if they're talking about it, they're not gonna do it. And people are like, what? I'd be like, look, people who are actually gonna do that thing aren't the ones that are talking about it. They're the ones you don't know. They're the ones. Those are the ones who are usually. It's gonna be a surprise most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, it's gonna be a surprise. Where you're like, I can't believe they actually did that. I didn't see that coming.
They seem so happy.
Or that whole thing. So we have to really look at it. But like you said, they can become. If you get out of your own shit, you get out of your own way as a woe is me and stop being. Because if you're always the woe is me thing, you're just within yourself. It's like it becomes a very selfish thing to where it's all about you. The world is all about you. If you can step out of that, that's when you can help people and be sympathetic and empathetic and all these different things. But you have to step away from yourself first.
Right.
So in order for you to become that person on the other side of that coin, that sympathetic, empathetic person, you have to step away from. You have to fix your shit first. You have to get out of that woe is me, the world is against me thing. And when you start thinking about other people in the other world, that's when you can start using that to your advantage. Being like, okay, this person's actually really hurting, but I have the tools to, really talk to this person because I've been through these things. Because I've been depressed and because I've been suicidal, I know how to talk to people, and I can recognize that in somebody when they're like, oh, I'm fine. I'll be like, are you though?
You're not fine.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm like, bullshit.
Right.
And you see their face like, oh fuck, he can see me. It's like, oh yeah, I can see you. Because I know I can recognize the energy. Not even what's on your face. I ignore this. I see what's in you.
Right.
I see you. And that scares the shit out of people.
For sure.
But it also is the way I help people. Oh, action steps. What will we use for an actionable step with some of this? I think it'd be the same thing as the first one.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, because these are two different ones. The last time we said one of the actionable steps would be actually taking a look and figuring out what the people around you, what their control drama was. Mom, dad, grandma, whoever it was that, spent that time raising you up. Figure out what their control drama was and kind of what yours became based off of that. Now, don't blame them.
No, it's not about blame.
For who you became. That's not what we're shooting for. So especially you, woe is me.
It's accountability.
Don't be blaming people. That's not what we're shooting for. But actually look at them and be like, okay, so this was their thing. For whatever reason, this was their thing. For whatever reason, this was his thing or her thing, whatever. And how was my dynamic with them? Because they interacted with me like this, I became aloof. I started acting more like that. They didn't force me to do it. It's something I chose to do. I chose to become aloof. I chose to become an intimidator, and I chose to become an interrogator. That was a choice I made based off this. It was based off of the situation I was in, but it was a choice for me. It wasn't forced upon me. Right. So don't start that shit. It's a choice you made.
Right.
So
that intimidator.
Yeah. You're damn right. And no, that's the generator, sir. That's the generator side of me kicking in right there.
All right.
But yeah, no, it was definitely Intimidator. But based off of that, figure out what your dynamic is. And it's like, are you aloof? Are you a woe is me? Be real with yourself about that thing. It's like, okay, based off of this, what happened, I tend to move like this. I tend to, in this situation, and it might be different in different situations. I may move aloof in this situation. In this situation, may be woe is me. It's like, figure that out. Really take a look at that for yourself, because until you figure that out, you're not going to be able to use that and step away from that and change into, go from the woe is me into the, the person who's self-aware of those emotions, that building up that emotional intelligence where you're empathetic and sympathetic. If you're aloof, you're not going to, be that, you're not going to be able to use that self-awareness that you have to help anybody else until you step out of your own shit. So really take a look at that and really dig into that with the people around you, but not just people around you, yourself too, and figure out like, okay, this probably explains why I do some of the things I do, but now what am I going to do with that?
Right. This is all about emotional intelligence. This is about how you turn a potentially bad situation into something that could be positive, not only for you, but for others.
Having that resilience to change it.
There's a lot more that goes into this, and we may do that, but we thought this particular insight about these 4 control dramas was important enough to merit its own 2-part episode.
And it's relevant because we're like we always say, is that we're on our own journey, and this came up in our journey. We just talked about this on Sunday, how a lot of this was relevant to what both of us are going through at the moment.
Right.
And it's one of those things like, well, man, this is so relevant, man. We need to do a video about this. We need to do a podcast about this. It's like, because man, if this is what's affecting us right now, and this is what we're learning about it, let's bring it to them while it's fresh, man. Fresh, hot on the plate. Let's bring it to them. It's like, so that's what that's what we're doing. Because like I said, everything that we're telling you guys, we either have used or are actively using ourselves. Right. On our own journey, trying to become those well-rounded warriors that we want to be. And developing that masculinity that we seek in ourselves. For sure. So it's not just a you thing; it's definitely a we thing. So that was good. Yeah. So guys, definitely check out the first episode to check out the Intimidator and the Investigator, or as we, the other side of the coin with that, the Generator and the Investigator. Yeah. So definitely check that out if you haven't checked this out, so you can see the full 2-part series on this one. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, man, and definitely stay tuned for future episodes and what we're gonna do, because it's gonna be an interesting journey along the way between us building ourselves into well-rounded warriors and hopefully helping you guys on your journey to be those well-rounded warriors as well. Check us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and everywhere. Guys. So keep fighting your fight, because you'd rather be a warrior in a garden
than a gardener in a war.
Take it easy, guys.
Peace.